Tonight on the program, we look at each political party's proposed pension policies to attract elderly voters in the May 14th general election. In Talking Politics, we speak with Akanat Promphan from the United Thai Nation Party. Then we explore the life of the female head of Hat Wanakon National Park. Sawadika, I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. We've been talking about how Thailand has become an aging society, and we've also been talking about how their lives could be improved, whether it's the healthcare system, the infrastructure, as well as their pension policies. As the elderly population make up at least 20% of the eligible voters for the May 14th general election, many of the political parties have proposed new pension policies as well. According to the Department of Older Persons, there were about 12.6 million elderly people in Thailand last year, accounting for 19.2% of the total population of about 66 million. And it is estimated that the number will increase by 1 million each year. Many political parties have unveiled policies designed for people who are over 60 years old, hoping to win their votes in the May 14th general election. Most of their policies are focused on improving healthcare services and increasing the allowances for the elderly, which is currently about 600 to 800 baht per month, depending on their age. We begin with the Palang Pracharat Party, which announced that they will increase the allowance for the elderly, 3,000 baht per month for people aged 60 to 70, 4,000 baht per month for people aged 70 to 80, and 5,000 baht per month for those who are over 80 years old. The United Thai Nation Party proposed 1,000 baht per month for all elderly people. It also proposed the building of more care centers for the elderly, recreation centers in communities, as well as tax cuts for companies which hire elderly people. Phumchai Thai Party's policies include free life insurance coverage for all people who are over 60 years old. This includes the right to borrow 20,000 baht from the state to start a career and 100,000 baht death benefit. Meanwhile, Pheu Thai Party's policy is the continuation of its 30 baht universal healthcare scheme introduced by its predecessor of Thai Rak Thai Party. The program will be improved to cover all diseases, so elderly people can get medical services at the nearest hospital without having to wait in a long queue. Only an ID card is needed and the services will be free of charge. The Move for a Party's policy is to increase allowances for elderly people to 3,000 baht per month by 2027. The welfare allowance for low-income earners will also be increased immediately. At the same time, bedridden patients will receive an allowance of 9,000 baht per month to be paid from the Fund for Elderly People. The Thai Sang Thai Party proposed a pension policy in which 3,000 baht per month will be given to all elderly people, with the first batch of 5 million who do not have enough income to receive the allowance in the first phase. A free healthcare program will also be provided for all elderly people. There will also be voluntary and mandatory savings programs to encourage people to start saving while they are young. The Democrat Party proposed the extension of the retirement age beyond 60, a readjustment of the health insurance systems to have the same standards in providing care for the elderly, and imposing a compulsory retirement savings policy. The Chhat Pathana Kla Party proposed the creation of 500,000 new jobs for the elderly population, as well as providing 50,000 baht each to renovate houses for the elderly and the handicapped. Last but not least, the Chhat Thai Pathana Party also proposed more jobs for the elderly population so that they can earn income, as well as giving an allowance of 3,000 baht per month for the handicapped. And now we took to the streets to talk to elderly people as to how they feel about the existing welfare systems, as well as their hope for the next government to make changes in order to ensure their better quality of life.
ก็ได้แค่700 บาทวันละ22 บาทมันพออะไรไม่พอกินก๋วยเตี๋ยวก็ไม่ได้กินน้ำขวดได้ขวดเดียว22 23ดิมันไม่ได้แค่นั้นมันจะกินอะไรได้
เดือนละ600กับขึ้นรถครึ่งราคารถเมล์กลับไปสถานที่พวกเขาดินอะไรพวกนี้อย่างที่สาธารณะอะไรอย่างเงี้ยฉันก็ได้ครึ่งราคาฉันไม่รู้นะฉันก็ทำมาหากินฉันก็พอใช้ของฉัน
ถามว่าพอมันก็ไม่พอนะครับเพราะว่ามันมันใช้จ่ายมันหลายด้านนะ
แค่สูงอายุ600แต่ไม่เพียงพอค่ะ
Under the current income support policy in Thailand, people aged between 60 and 69 received a monthly allowance of 600 baht. Those aged between 70 and 79 received 700 baht. Those who are 80 to 89 received 800 baht. A monthly allowance of 1,000 baht will be offered to people aged 90 and over. Thailand has been categorized as an aging society since 2005, when 10% of the population reached 60 and over, and that is projected to increase to 33% by 2040. We asked elderly people whether they think the support from the government will be enough to live on in this aging society.
ก็จะวันละ80 หรือ 100 นึงอย่างนี้แหละกำลังดีหรือ 60-70 บาทอย่างเงี้ยยังพอได้กินก๋วยเตี๋ยวสักชามนึงนี่70 กว่าแล้วต้องดิ้นรนเลยนี่72-73แล้วนี่ยังต้องดิ้นรนทำมาค้าขายมาเลี้ยงชีพของเราไปได้
ไม่พอแหละแต่นี่ว่ามันก็ต้องจำเป็นแล้วแต่รัฐบาลมียอดเท่าไหร่เท่านั้นแหละใช่ไหมให้มากรัฐบาลเกิดขาดเรื่องนู่นเรื่องนี่ปัญหาก็เยอะใช่ไหมล่ะเขาก็ต้องให้พอดีให้ไปพอดีไม่ใช่ให้จนขาดอะไรเงินกองคลังหรืออะไรมันปัญหามันจะเยอะ
Most elderly people we talked to said that the most important thing that the next government should deal with is to provide them with better health-related services.
ก็เวลาเจ็บป่วยก็เข้ารักษาได้สะดวกสบายโดยชนิดที่ว่าไม่ต้องรอคิวนาน
ดีที่สุดแล้ว
อยากให้ทางรัฐบาลช่วยเพิ่มเงินเยอะๆหน่อยมันจะได้จบปริญญามาแล้วก็จะพอหายใจออกครับ
ขอให้พูดจริงทำจริงอย่าพูดแล้วพอได้ไปแล้วก็หายเงียบ
มันน่าจะทำมาดีกว่านี้อีกตั้งนานแล้วแต่คนทำไม่ได้มันไม่รู้ไปทำอะไรนะปัญหาที่จะไปทำอะไรที่คนสูงอายุอ่ะมันไม่มีอะไรเลยที่ต่อไปก็ดูได้แค่นั้นแหละครับคอยเวลาเท่านั้นแหละครับ
กิติพัฒน์ เชิงสุขจิต reporting for Thai PBS World.
And a recent survey shows that Thais aged between 60 and 69 still have to work to make ends meet, even though they're suffering from age-related health problems only because they do not have enough savings. We try to find out what more we can do to help these people.
Thailand is among the fastest aging countries in the world. Of the roughly 70 million population, over 12 million Thais are elderly. Though all Thai seniors are eligible for government support, starting at 600 baht a month, it is hardly enough to cover anything, and with inflation now soaring, cash-strapped elderly Thais are in even more trouble. Many Thais are forced to continue working after the retirement age, but job opportunities are limited. A survey by the Thailand Gerontology Research and Development Institute, or TGRI, shows that half of Thais aged 60 to 69 were still working. Most of them were working as farmers, vendors, taxi drivers, delivery staff, or by doing odd jobs. The survey underlines the risk of increased poverty among elderly Thais. Part of the problem is that many people were not able to make enough money to save for their retirement. This problem related to the minimum wage and cost of living.
มันก็จะไปเกี่ยวพันกับ2เรื่องคือที่1เรื่องของระบบบำนาญหรือเงินช่วยเหลือผู้สูงอายุที่ในปัจจุบันเนี่ยมีการเรียกร้องให้ปรับเรื่องของเบี้ยยังชีพเป็น 3,000 บาทต่อเดือนหรืออะไรต่างๆเนี่ยครับอันนี้ก็จะเป็นประเด็นที่ต้องถกเถียงกันว่าเราจะมีความสามารถในการที่จะจ่ายให้กับผู้สูงอายุได้หรือเปล่าประเด็นที่2คือเรื่องของการออม ก็คือในช่วงตั้งแต่วัยหนุ่มสาวหรือวัยที่เป็นวัยแรงงานเนี่ยเขายังไม่สามารถที่จะมีรายได้ในการที่จะออมได้เพราะฉะนั้นส่วนใหญ่ก็คือยังต้องทำงานต่อไปแม้ว่าจะเป็นผู้สูงอายุแล้ว
The TGRI is set to release a report on Thailand's elderly population in June. It will include recommendations on what the government can do. Among the suggestions is that the government raise the retirement age from 60 to 65 or 70 and provide a monthly subsidy of 3,000 baht to each elderly Thai. Dr. Pusit said Thailand also needs to create opportunities for careable elderly to work. The TGRI also provides skill training for the elderly. Though it seems like a short-term solution, Dr. Pusit said technology nowadays progresses very quickly, and it might be difficult for anyone to catch up, especially older generations, while these things seem simple for youngsters, such as communication, technologies, or tools. As for long-term solutions, Thailand needs to provide better welfare. In order to do that, more tax needs to be collected. That is also another question to debate, whether Thailand can afford a better welfare system and how can people be made to be happy to pay for it. Dr. Pusit said either higher tax collection is needed or make saving mandatory by deducting the money from their salary, like in Singapore.
แต่ว่าแนวโน้มของเราเท่าที่เราดูคือว่าเริ่มมีผู้สูงอายุที่อยู่คนเดียวเนี่ยเพิ่มมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะครับหรือเป็นผู้สูงอายุที่อยู่ด้วยกันในส่วนของผู้สูงอายุด้วยกันเองเนี่ยครับดูแลกันเองเนี่ยก็เพิ่มมากขึ้นครับเข้าใจว่าผู้สูงอายุที่อยู่คนเดียวนี่มีประมาณ 12% ของผู้สูงอายุทั้งหมดแล้วก็ผู้สูงอายุที่อยู่ด้วยกันเองเนี่ยครับมีประมาณสัก 20% เพราะฉะนั้นรวมแล้วเนี่ยคือทั้งกลุ่มที่อยู่คนเดียวแล้วก็กลุ่มที่อยู่ด้วยกันระหว่างผู้สูงอายุนี่ก็ประมาณ1 ใน 3ของผู้สูงอายุทั้งหมดนะครับ
An increasingly elderly population means that the number of senior citizens without proper caregivers also increasing. In the next few decades, the opportunity for Thai seniors to rely on their children or grandchildren will also reduce due to the declining birth rate. Thailand has a national plan for the elderly, and their welfare is included in the National Health Assembly discussion. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, which leads the mission, might not, however, have the budget required. Thailand is starting to see more local administrative bodies and the private sector run daycare centers for the elderly with special needs. But to improve the living conditions for Thai senior citizens as a whole, the country needs more effort from all. Thailand needs to improve its welfare system, health services for the elderly, increase monthly stipends, and create more work opportunities for those who are capable of work, even when they pass the retirement age. Tulip Nak Sompop Lao reporting for Thai PBS World.
And there is much more that we can do to help these senior citizens live a comfortable life. And now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup. Thailand's Ministry of Public Health has taken steps to cope with an anticipated upsurge in COVID-19 infections after the Songkran celebrations. Meanwhile, 27 cases of Omicron XBB.1.16 subvariant infections have been detected in Thailand, according to the latest information from the Medical Sciences Department released on April 17. But there's no evidence that the subvariant is as serious as the Delta variant. Bangkok police have assured the public that they will investigate the shooting death of a well-known Thai internet idol in a straightforward and fair manner without outside interference. The female internet idol known as Gigi and her boyfriend, who was a second-year army cadet, were found dead on Wednesday in her condominium in the Asok Phitburi area of Bangkok. Police are yet to announce who else they suspect were involved in the shootings. The Metropolitan Electricity Authority is blaming the increase in electricity bills for many households in Bangkok on the hot weather, requiring greater use of air conditioners. Government spokesman Anucha Burapachai explained that for every rise of 1 degree Celsius in external temperature, an air conditioner in a house or office will consume 3% more energy to maintain the cooler temperature inside the building. He also revealed that power consumption for Bangkok, Nonthaburi, and Samut Prakan peaked at almost 9,000 megawatts on April 18th. For the whole country, peak power consumption was recorded at about 32,000 megawatts on April 6th, when the average temperature was 31.2 degrees Celsius. Lin Hui, the last of the two famous giant pandas in Chiang Mai Zoo, died at the age of 21 after developing unusual symptoms on Tuesday. Lin Hui and Chuang Chuang were two giant pandas from China on loan to Chiang Mai Zoo since 2003 to begin a 10-year conservation program to breed giant pandas. And in this episode of Talking Politics, we talk to Akanat Promphan from the United Thai Nation Party as he tells us why General Prayut Chan-o-cha deserves another term as the Prime Minister of Thailand.
General Prayut Chan-o-cha successfully portrayed himself as a guarantor of peace and order to return as Prime Minister in the last elections in 2019. What campaign message is he sending out this time? And what kind of leader would he be if he can make it back to power again?
First of all, we must not forget that General Prayut can still be portrayed as a figure that brings stability to Thailand, to the society and Thai politics. And in fact, I think that the economy and the state of Thailand at the moment that we're benefiting from the economy because of this stability. And with General Prayut joining the new party, what we are hoping for is to build on General Prayut's success as the leader of this government over the last few years, on building, strengthening the basic infrastructure of this country, running the government, promoting trade, promoting relationship between Thailand and foreign countries, and driving the economy forward. And so with this party, I think we are basically building on the success, and we are hoping to also instill some new forces to General Prayut as a party.
General Prayut now wants to be seen as a full-fledged politician. How is he handling his transition from being a military strongman to what he is now?
Well, to the public, I think good news. He's also evolving from a military leader to fulfill his role as the leader of the government, and now to fulfill his new role as a political leader. This time around, he has decided to join the party membership. He's also the chairman of the strategic board of the party, and he's also heading this party campaign, which he hasn't done during the last election, but he's doing it this election. And I think he's adapting, I think he's evolving, and we can see that the public is also responding to this new change and accepting him in this new role as a political leader.
But you think he's ready to really turn himself into a full-fledged politician?
Oh yes. I've during this campaign, I've been with him.
You're one of the persons often, closest to him, so you should know.
Quite often, yes. And I will be with him during the campaign. And I think he's adapting well. He's adapting to public speaking to the public. And I think it might take time, but he has a lot of experience already. But I think, and I think he's enjoying his new role as well.
No, I certainly would want to know more about this particular aspect of Kun Prayut being a politician, right? Because I have to admit that even though he has been in power, in office 8 years, even journalists admit that they still have limited knowledge as to his inner thinking, his style of management and how he interact with people who work with him around him. So what is he like when he's down on the campaign trail with you and your colleagues in the party and talking to people?
I think to the people around him, he's loved by his colleagues, by everybody who works around him. I think maybe what he lacks is the ability to communicate to the press, especially, which I think is part of his development from the military leader, which doesn't require him to speak to the press, to communicate via the press, and then to the leader of government, which he's sort of adapting. But now as a political leader, it requires him to communicate via the press to the public more efficiently and better than what he's done before. And I think he's changing, and we can witness this change also.
Because through his interaction with the media and through his speeches, we have the image of him being a very moody person at times, can be very mercurial, right? so in person, when you talk to him or when he is under pressure working with people in the party, does he exhibit that kind of behavior?
He's a strong leader. He's decisive, but in a way he's not as tyrannical as the press trying to project him to be.
It was General Prayut as the military junta leader who appointed the 250 senators who will continue to wield significant power in the post-election scenario. Does he still intend to count on their support to return to power?
I would hope that the Senate this power to elect the Prime Minister will expire as soon as possible, because I don't think it's there to do anything. An elected government cannot survive without the support of the Parliament. And even from the last election, this government or the current standing temporary government was not created by, was not formed by the Senate. It was formed by the Parliament. It has won the majority in the Parliament. And I think for this coming election, for the government to survive, it will have to win the majority in the Parliament, which is a practicing normal standard for any functioning political system. I don't think the Senate are there to do anything. In fact, it's legacy. So it is legacy. It has no function in forming this new government.
And in this episode of Empowering Thai Women, I had a chance to talk to Nenapha Ngamnet, who is one of very few women who is appointed as the head of a national park in Thailand.
จะว่าเป็นความฝันในวัยเด็กก็ใช่นะคะเพราะว่าคุณพ่อรับราชการทหารนะคะคือตั้งแต่เราโตมาเนี่ยเราก็อยู่ในค่ายทหารแล้วแต่ว่าที่บ้านเนี่ยนอกจากคุณพ่อที่รับราชการทหารคุณแม่ก็ยังทำสวนซึ่งจะทุกเสาร์อาทิตย์เนี่ยคุณพ่อคุณแม่ก็จะพาไปทำสวนซึ่งทำสวนเนี่ยก็จะเช่นพวกปลูกข้าวนะคะปลูกมันสำปะหลังนะคะแล้วก็ปลูกยูคาลิปตัสนะคะแล้วก็ปลูกไม้ผลต่างๆทำให้ความเป็นข้าราชการนะคะซึ่งเราซึมซับอยู่ทุกวันเราเห็นความมั่นคงในอาชีพตรงเนี้ยที่คุณพ่อเราเป็นทหารเนี่ยก็คือสามารถเลี้ยงดูเราได้เรารู้สึกว่าอาชีพเนี่ยมันมั่นคงลองดู
Nenapha Ngamnet, who's the head of Hat Wanakon National Park in Prachuap Khiri Khan Province, is one of a very few women in senior positions in forest conservation. Born in the eastern province of Sa Kaeo, Nenapha was surrounded by abundant nature throughout her childhood, which made her passionate about forestry. Nenapha began her career as a government official at the Royal Forest Department. During that time, she joined a special investigative team named Payak Prai, the main duty of which was to investigate and crack down on illegal activities in forest reserves. Later, she moved to the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation, where she led another investigative team named Pya Sua and successfully cracked down on a number of crimes.
ตอนนั้นที่ผลงานเด่นๆที่ดังๆหรือสำคัญเลยนะคะก็จะเป็นที่นำทีมเข้าจับกุมปลัดอำเภอนะคะที่จังหวัดกาญจนบุรีเข้าไปล่าสัตว์ป่าคุ้มครองหรือล่าหมีขอตอนนั้นนะคะแล้วก็ได้มาเป็นหัวหน้าวรรณอุทยานเขานางพันธุรัตน์ที่เพชรบุรีนะคะที่อำเภอชะอำจังหวัดเพชรบุรีแล้วก็ไปเป็นผู้ช่วยหัวหน้าอุทยานแห่งชาติแก่งกระจานอีกหน้าที่หนึ่งที่จังหวัดเพชรบุรีเหมือนกันเหตุการณ์สำคัญจะเกิดในช่วงเป็นผู้ช่วยหัวหน้าอุทยานแห่งชาติแก่งกระจานค่อนข้างเยอะนะคะก็ถ้าทุกท่านจำได้ก็จะมีเหตุการณ์ที่เราอพยพพี่น้องชาวกะเหรี่ยงจำนวน87คนนะคะแล้วก็ดำเนินคดีทั้งหมด30คนนะคะ30รายแล้วอพยพด้วยเฮลิคอปเตอร์3 ลำออกจากพื้นที่ป่านะคะกลับมายังที่ทำการอุทยานแห่งชาติแก่งกระจานนะคะอันนั้นก็กล้าเป็นคนวางแผนแล้วก็นำกำลังเจ้าหน้าที่เข้าดำเนินการ
After gaining much experience, Nenapha was appointed head of Hatwanagon National Park in late February. Her job doesn't only involve overseeing the park and welcoming visitors. As Nenapha explains, it also involves other responsibilities such as land and sea patrols to protect its natural resources and to prevent illicit activities within the park.
หลายคนอาจจะสงสัยแล้วก็อาจจะยอมรับค่อนข้างยากถ้ามีหัวหน้าผู้หญิงหรือว่าผู้นำผู้หญิงที่ทำงานในลักษณะป้องกันและปราบปรามตรงนี้นะคะดังนั้นกว่าที่เราจะมาทำงานตรงนี้ได้อยู่ดีๆไม่ใช่ว่าเราเรียนจบข้อเขียนมาในมหาวิทยาลัยจบออกมาปุ๊บเราพร้อมที่จะทำงานปราบปรามเราพร้อมที่จะจับปืนนะเราพร้อมที่จะเดินนำหน้านะจริงๆมันไม่ใช่ก็ต้องฝึกฝนในการฝึกอบรมเกี่ยวกับยุทธวิธีเกี่ยวกับงานสืบสวนก็ฝึกเหมือนทหารตำรวจ
In Thai forestry, it is still rare to see young women in leadership positions, though there are more women entering the industry. Even though Nenapha has proved to be as strong as male officers, the biggest challenge for her as a female leader was to earn respect from her subordinates.
คือการที่เจ้าหน้าที่หรือผู้ใต้บังคับบัญชายอมรับเราอันนี้มันเป็นสิ่งที่ท้าทายที่สุดมันไม่เหมือนกับผู้บังคับบัญชาที่เป็นผู้ชายถูกไหมคะการยอมรับเนี่ยมันเกิดการยอมรับมาก่อนแล้ว 50% ทีนี้อยู่ที่ว่าผลงานว่าจะแสดงออกมาให้ผู้ใต้บังคับบัญชาเนี่ยรู้สึกเชื่อมั่นและมั่นใจมากแค่ไหนแต่ผู้บังคับบัญชาที่เป็นผู้หญิงเนี่ยมาเนี่ยถ้าไม่ศูนย์ก็ติดลบดังนั้นเขาเรียกว่าความพยายามของเราที่จะเป็นที่ยอมรับมันมากกว่าคนอื่นๆเนี่ยหรือว่าผู้บังคับบัญชาที่เป็นผู้ชายถึง2 เท่าเนี่ยเราก็จะมี
Nenapha said the best way to earn respect as a leader is to maintain her skills and experience. In fact, being a female leader can be an advantage, as Nenapha thinks that women are good at paying attention to details and coming up with backup plans.
สิ่งที่เราจะไปสั่งหรือว่าเขาเรียกว่าอะไรสิ่งที่เราจะไปให้ผู้ใต้บังคับบัญชาทำเนี่ยเราต้องทำได้ถึงจะทำได้ไม่ดีเท่าผู้ชายทำแต่เราต้องทำและสิ่งที่เราเป็นจุดเด่นเลยก็คือความเป็นผู้หญิงเนี่ยก็คือความละเอียดและรอบคอบความที่อาจจะคิดเยอะกว่ารอบคอบกว่าจากมี1 แผนอาจจะมี2 แผนอาจจะมี3 แผนหรือว่าอาจจะเป็นมีคิดมุมที่ร้ายกว่าทำให้สามารถป้องกันเหตุที่จะเกิดขึ้นได้ถ้ามันเลวร้ายจริงๆทุกวันนี้ก็เหมือนโลกมันเปิดกว้างแล้วนะคะดังนั้นทุกอาชีพเนี่ยมันเหมาะกับทุกคนอยู่ที่ว่าใครจะพยายามได้มากน้อยแค่ไหนเท่านั้นเองนะครับเช่นงานด้านป่าไม้เหมือนกันทุกวันนี้นะคะก็จะมีหัวหน้าอุทยานที่เป็นผู้หญิงเนี่ยเริ่มเพิ่มมากขึ้นนะคะดังนั้นก็เป็นกำลังใจให้คืออันดับแรกคืออย่าท้อช ช้ความพยายามมากหน่อยไม่เป็นไรแต่ว่าความพยายามเหล่านั้นมันจะตอบแทนเราแล้วมันจะทำให้เราแข็งแกร่งทีนี้มันอาจจะแข็งแกร่งกว่าคนอื่นๆด้วยซ้ำค่ะ
We can actually say that Nina Pai is actually one of the strongest women in the forest conservation industry. And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:45 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ